This is Russ. I'm back on the road again, taking a shortcut through a shopping center parking lot. All right, have to make sure it was my turn to get through. Yeah, so the last time we were out, we had a dead end. Well, it wasn't a dead end, it was a road construction thing or something. Roadblock. What do they call that? Yeah, they shut the road down on us. I was going through the path and couldn't get through. So we ended up not going to the forest preserve, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. So I figured today we'll go there. We're gonna go there a different method. So what's the weather today? Another 82 or 83 day, something like that. It's this whole week I think is gonna be like that. So I figure I might as well go. Oh, we have the police department over here. Traffic stop. All right. Okay, we're gonna cut across here. Giving you the roundabout method. Now, those who have been watching me since last year know I've done this before. Kind of cut through this area. I much prefer going the other way because this is kind of like going through where there's more cars and everything, but sometimes I'll cut through to come out of here, out of the forest preserve, get out this way. So I figured, well, if I can get out this way, I can go there this way too, right? Okay, we're gonna have to take a turn here. I'm repositioning myself, but I want to make sure all the right turning guys see me. And of course, there's a ton of them turning right. So we really can't cross this. I think the safest thing really is probably to go straight ahead like I originally had. Go straight ahead and then cut across. You know, you try to take this other turn, you see everyone's turning right on here. And it's not the way to do it. Now we have left turning people here, but of course right turn guys go when left turning guys go sometimes. So I'm just gonna wait. Let's see, well, I think what I'll do is let me push the cross button. I mean, it's probably too late. It's probably already set up for it. Maybe it'll give us a cross light, maybe it won't. But we gotta wait for that left turning signal to be over with. And when that traffic in front of us starts moving, yeah, we did get a light. This guy went anyway. You gotta watch out. I mean, even though you have the right to go, they'll still go. They'll run you over. So you gotta be careful. All right, we're gonna hit the button again on that side. Flip ourselves this way. This is why I don't go to the forest preserves this way. Oh, by the way, very first time I ever fell was right here at this intersection. Yeah, that was when I first got my first bike, and I leaned over to the right side when I had to stop to cross through, and with the weakened leg and weakened knee, yeah, I went down. Nobody helps you when you're on the ground. They all see you fall down. Nobody helped you. Nobody ever wants to get involved. Let's go this direction. We don't go in this direction that often. We usually go the other way around. Let's go the opposite direction this time. All right, we're finally in. Yeah, I know it's a kind of an ordeal to get here. It wasn't that easy. Much easier the other way. It's longer the other way. but you have less hassles with the cars and everything like that. So we're back out on the Magicycle deer. Wow, this thing is hanging really low. Yeah, I had to avoid that. I know that on occasion they do cut the tree branches. You know, they'll have a crew come out and they'll take a look at how the path looks like, and then they'll cut down things that they need to be cut. But apparently they haven't done it yet this year. Yeah, we're back out on the deer again. And the reason is because since the last ride, I didn't charge the batteries on the deer. And I figured, well, let's just take it, and then as we start running out of battery, then it's time to get back home and charge it up. I do have more than one battery for the deer, but I didn't bring it. I didn't think we'll be out here that long anyway, so, you know, whenever I say that, the videos are still like a half hour or more. So it's long for you, but not long for me. You know, when I usually go out, sometimes I'm out for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, the foliage is actually starting to get kind of tall now. I'm just kind of noticing how tall the grasses already are. Here it is at June, what is it today, 19th, 20th, something like that? I don't know what it is. And yeah, the grasses here are already starting to cut tall. Eventually, they won't cut it. They will leave it. What they'll do is they'll cut just along the strips on either side. And but the rest of it they leave tall. I mean, the deer hide in there, of course. Like this whole thing on the right side, I know you can't see it, sorry, it's too late. It's even taller because they don't cut that at all. These will grow to a certain amount because sometimes they do cut it down before the fall season. Other areas they actually burn down. First time I ever saw that, I was kind of shocked. I says, why is it all burned out? And I started to wonder, did they do it chemically or did they use fire? Yeah, they burn it. That's how they control it, I guess. But like I said before, I always wonder, what do they do for the animals that don't make it out? I think those guys are out of luck. They get burned up. Yeah, like all along here, you'll see over in this area, they'll burn this whole thing out during the fall season. You know what I like about this bell is that it rings a long time. If you get a good one, it rings a long time. And these are not expensive bells. I bought them on AliExpress, and then on another website, I don't even know what that website's called. These little bells that, you know, it's only, what is that, 3/4 of an inch wide maybe? Is that 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, something like that? Doesn't take up a lot of real estate on the handlebar. But they're really cheap and they ring a long time. Much better than some of the bells that are given with the bikes themselves. So that's a worthwhile upgrade in my opinion. Well, what did I pay for those things? Like $1.74 or something like that. But then I ordered some on AliExpress that was a lot higher in price because I couldn't find any. And then one of you guys found it for me, and then I ordered 10 more on that site to average it all out to like $3 and something per bell. So could have got it for cheaper. I mean, at one time I bought 10 of them for like $1.74. So yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But even at 3 something per bell, that's not too bad. Because like individually, if you bought the name brand version of it, it's like, what is it, like $18.95 or something like that. And it's not that much better than this one. Because I actually bought one of those initially, that's how I got to know about it. But unfortunately I bought well, fortunately for me, I bought the wrong size. So it was for thicker handlebars and mine wasn't that thick, so I had to return it. And that's when I started looking, and then I found the same, probably a clone, a duplicate bell, you know, on AliExpress, and I bought it there. I bought 10 of them then, On your left. You know, even though it's like 82 degrees out, when you have a wind blowing up against you, it doesn't feel so bad. The wind, of course, creates a huge wind noise for you, but with the windscreen that I have on the microphone, it does cut it out quite a bit. All right, this is the infamous stop sign everyone always asks me about, why I never stop on it. Let me stop for a second to show you guys. I know you guys can't really see it, but yeah. Off on this side, that's gated. You can see nobody goes through there. This oncoming traffic has no stop sign. And then this road down here, that's gated too. Nobody comes through here. Just to let you know, nobody ever comes through. So nobody ever stops at this. Like the gentleman there, he didn't stop, he just kept going too. Nobody ever stops at this stop sign. But I know that people don't know that. Alright, I'll show you another stop sign too. People always ask me about on the path. I'll be coming up in a second here. This other stop sign goes to a parking lot area. And unless there's cars coming through, yeah, most people don't stop at this stop sign either. It just kind of goes through. But yeah, obviously there are cars because, you know, people come, they park, they have little picnics or whatever they do here. But right on this stop sign, we usually look, and if there's nobody there, most people go right through it as well. But you could do a rolling stop. That one would be more critical than the other. The other one's kind of a ridiculous stop sign. They should really just pull it out of there because they don't stop the other direction. It makes no sense. Yeah, I'm not sure which way I like better, but you know, sometimes you go in one direction all the time. You're always making a right-hand turn. This one, you're always making a left-hand turn. Well, not a left turn, but a curving towards the left. So, you know, you can't always ride in the same direction, otherwise all you know how to do is make right turns. You gotta go in the opposite direction too sometimes, just to even yourself out. Now hopefully you guys went ahead and tightened up those bolts on your kickstands. Yeah, I made a mention of that on the last video. Yeah, if you didn't see that video, I'm telling you now, tighten up the bolts on your kickstand. Two of our kickstands loosened up so much it felt like the kickstand was ready to fall off. I think 2 more turns and we would have lost the boat. Yeah, it bounces that much that it vibrates it that much that it actually unscrews itself to the point where the kickstand's ready to fall off. So tighten that up, and while you're at it, tighten up all the other bolts on your bike. Make sure those things that are at least finger tight, not finger tight, but you know, tight enough on the hex driver, but not so tight that you're overdoing it either. So we made it once through already. We went once across already. It doesn't take that long. This path around here only is about maybe 3.5 miles maybe. And we go a decent clip. I mean, technically it's a 15-mile-an-hour path like everyone else, everywhere else we go. Well, here's that. I almost hit it with my face. I forgot that I got a duck over there. That tree branch is way too low. Typically 15 miles per hour is what most of these bike paths are. We go a little faster. Sometimes I do hit 20. Let me show you what 20 looks like here. This is about 20 miles an hour. overall, I've had my bikes now for, when did I get my first bike? 2 years and 3 months, I think, something like that. Is how long I've had an e-bike. I don't think any of us, well, there's some, but most of us have not been in e-biking all that long. Because, you know, the whole thing with the e-bikes, popularity of the e-bikes really kind of started up, in my opinion, probably not, but in my opinion, right around the pandemic. This is when everybody wanted to buy a bike. Remember that? And you couldn't get a bike anywhere because there was none to be had. I mean, we're talking regular bikes, you know, non-electric bikes. And then, of course, others wanted e-bikes. Guys like me wanted an e-bike. So it got to the point where it was really hard to even get a bike or an e-bike. And people were waiting a long time to get a bike. Now I remember when I got my first bike, it was the Rad Rover 5. When my wife finally admitted that she would allow me to buy a bike, when she finally consented to allow me to get a bike, I immediately went onto the Rad Power Bikes site and ordered one. I mean, didn't even go a couple hours before I already placed the order for one. On your left. So I placed it in there because I knew that it was hard to get a bike, and at that particular time they actually had some bikes in stock. So I said I got to place my order before they run out of stock. And yeah, it was pretty quick. Within a week I had my bike. Others not so lucky. I remember my friend Donut Jim. I call him Donut Jim because he was the donut vendor at one of the farmers markets, and that's how we met. I rode my bike up, and he came running over to check my bike out because he had been waiting for a while for his electric XP. So he had to check my bike out, and that's how we became friends. And then the other gentleman that we saw recently on video where he was checking out my deer, I met him too because he also was talking to Donut Jim. And then we've run across each other, you know, a couple times on this path where we, you know, he comes out here too because he doesn't live all that far from this area. And he says this is his preferred path to go riding. But he says he sees me all the time. He sees me riding past his home. And so that's why he stopped me. He saw me, so he yelled out for me. After a while, you start running into the same people when you're on the same path. Because you're going around faster than they're walking. You eventually hit them a couple of times. So when I first started riding, when I first got my bike, I rode this path. I didn't do anything other than ride this path. Go around in circles over and over and over again. And after a while, somebody's mentioned, it says, Russ, why don't you ride on the streets? And I didn't really want to do it. I mean, I had to ride the streets to get here, of course. But I didn't ride any of the major streets. I tried to find small side streets. And eventually you have no choice. You have to cross that big street. And then she finally said, you're just afraid of everything. That was enough to push me over the edge. Nobody says that to me. So I says, all right, I'm hitting the streets. And ever since then, I've been on the streets. Sometimes it takes that one thing to push you over, right? Where you finally get the courage to go out and ride it. Now I ride the streets a lot. Here's a stop sign again. Sorry, missed it. There's nobody coming down that path. Even that car that we see, it's off to the left, it's gated. They can't get through. And the other side is gated. They can't get through either. That's from the street side. Nobody cuts through there. Now in this area, it's very wooded, wooded, where you know, there's so much trees that it cuts out all the sunlight. It's always cooler as you come through here because there's no sun. On occasion, you'll see deer that'll just run out around here. So you have to kind of be careful a little bit because the deer won't know. They'll just cut across, and you don't want to hit the deer with your bike. That would be bad. Yep, we've made it through almost to a second time already. It goes by really fast, really. You know, when people ask me about, you know, places that I go to, and I mentioned that the farthest place I go to is 60 miles round trip, they all get like, wow, really? Wow, that's impressive. Not that impressive on an e-bike. It's not that hard to do. I mean, on that trip, typically I will ride both pedaling and throttling. Not 100% pedaling, you know, it's not 100% throttling either. I got to conserve battery usually for that one. And so I'll kind of split the duties. So it's not that hard. If you were pedaling the entire time and you had no motor, yeah, then that 60 miles would sound like, wow, that's really impressive. It would be impressive, I think, at that point. Not so much when you got a nice e-bike. Now others have said, you know, you don't get any exercise that way. Yeah, I know. I don't really care. It's okay for some. Not for me. I'm not into the e-biking just for the exercising. I'm in it basically to keep my knees moving, you know, and I'm not moving constantly. It's not like I have to keep riding hard. On occasion, you'll see me I'm pedaling now. You'll see me pedal, and then I'll stop for a while. I just want to move my legs every now and then, keep my knees going every now and then. But I'm not in it for the exercise. Really, I'm not. I'm in it for the just to kind of keep my knees moving around. And then the rest of the time, when I don't want to do it, then I throttle. Yeah, and I throttle a lot, as you know, when we're doing these videos, because I don't want to sound winded when I'm talking to you guys, so I just throttle through. And then when I head home, I'll try to pedal for a certain amount, and then if I'm tired out, I don't pedal. Then I just throttle again. So yeah, I'm not your typical rider. All right, I think we got to stop and get some water. Getting a little thirsty. Bigger water bottle this time. Yeah, this thing has that foil. I don't know whether that thing really keeps it colder or not. Maybe a little. I mean, it's got to have some reflective properties, but not enough to really say that, wow, that water was ice cold, because it's not. It's cooler, maybe, a little bit cooler, maybe. I know the bottle costs more money when you have that on there, though. All right, we have gone around. Yeah, I would ride this path over and over and over. But you know, you get bored of it after a while. You have to get out. You got to go to other places. That's when we hit the streets. I think this will be the last time through here. We'll head out in the streets after this. Yeah, I rode around so much that I wore out my tires on that Rad Rover 5. So what I did is I swapped the fronts to the back and the back to the front. You always wear out your backs more than your front, just so that you know. The weight is on the back mostly. The drive mechanism is on the back, so it's going to wear out your tires more. So I moved the fronts to the back, but then I moved the backs to the front. But as I was riding that bike then, I kind of felt like I didn't have as much grip like when I was turning or maneuvering, somehow it just didn't seem as grippy to me because it was the worn out rear tire. So I finally retired it. I just said, that's it. That was around 1,500 miles when I did that on that bike. So I bought 2 more, new tires from Rad. At that time, it was the same tires that come with the bike. It was the Kenda, whatever they call it. They were like $50 per tire, so I spent $100 and bought the tires. And then what I did is I put brand new tires in the front. So if you think about it, that rear tire now had 1,500 miles. The front tire had 0 miles on it because it was brand new tire. And then when I found that the rear tire was again finally giving up, that was about near the 2,500 mile mark. So what I did is I took that rear tire off altogether and put a brand new tire on the back of that bike. So because since the rear tires wear out faster, I figured by the time that rear tire wears out again, by that time the front and the rear will be worn out relatively evenly then at that point. That's how I do it. You can do it any way you want. Some people would change out both tires at the exact same time, but you do really wear out the rear faster than you do the back. And tires aren't that cheap, I mean, at $50 a tire is pretty cheap because there's other tires that cost a lot more money. I will say that I checked out the Rad Power Bikes site a week or 2 ago for the tires, and I think they're $80-something now. And those are the exact same tires I bought for $50. Was it 50? Maybe it was 55. I think it was 55 at that point, not 50. Sorry. And yeah, so tires have gone up in price too. So when people have asked me, have you ever had a flat? No, but I have changed out the tires a couple of times. So, to do that, you have to take the entire tire off, right? So especially the rear tire is always the hardest thing because you got the chain to deal with, the derailleur to deal with, all that stuff. But it's not that hard. There was only one time where I had to take off try to take off the tire of a rear tire and I couldn't get it off. It was really hard to take it off. I think some of the tires, the bead, what we call the bead, I guess, that goes around the rim of the tire, could be kind of stiff. Yeah, don't put your finger through there. Get tire levers. Use that because you'll rip up your finger if you try to put your finger through it. You don't want to do that. Tire lever's not expensive. I think you get a set of 3 for, I don't know, $6-7, something like that, $8 maybe. They're plastic. They're made out of plastic, but it's just something that will go underneath the rim, kind of holds it in place, and it has a little hook on the back end of it, so you can kind of hook it onto the spokes, kind of hold that in place while you use the other tire lever to get the next section of the tire. So yeah, get some tire levers. Carry that with you. I always carry a set with me. You never know when something happens. Now, others have said that they don't carry any extra stuff with them. Like right now, I don't have any tools on the Deer. I don't have a bag on it or anything like that. I do have a rear rack. I could put it on there, but I didn't bring it with me this time. I think what might make sense for these step-over bikes at least is to get one of those triangle bags that go straps onto the top tube and the seat post. It's like in the triangle over there is a little bag. Then carry some basic tools. Carry like I mean, at one point I was carrying spare inner tubes. May not necessarily need that, but at least carry a tire repair kit, which are basically patches, cement, a little sandpaper thing, and then a portable air pump. Now, whether that's a hand pump or whether you carry one of the air pumps that I recommend that are battery powered, and it's basically an air compressor. I prefer to carry that, quite frankly. It's a lot easier. I mean, it's kind of bigger, but pumping is a lot easier because you're not pumping. You just turn it on and the compressor does all the work. they're not that expensive. In fact, the one from Himiway, I don't know what that thing was, $33, $35. I mean, that's not that bad. The other one that I usually recommend is from Veep or VAP or VAPE or whatever they call it. It's in the description of my videos. I think that one's like more like $45, $50, $55, something like that. It's more costly than the Himiway. The Himiway one is actually good. It's very quiet. It's very quiet, but it's longer, so it takes up more space. Has a little flashlight on it too, so you can light up what your where your inner tube tire valve is. You can light that up with the flashlight while you screw in the little tube, air tube. I don't know what you call that. By the way, I am wearing all my stuff as usual. I have a long sleeve shirt on. I've got my bike gloves on. I did not put on any sunscreen. I know I should be doing it. I keep forgetting. And I really kind of hate doing it anyway. I have my safety vest on. Got my X-Needle helmet on. Oh, some people have asked me if I could do a video talking about the helmets. Yeah, I kind of did that. There is a X-Needle review for the X-Needle helmet. There's a review of the Burn helmet that I have. The Burn helmet I bought from Rad Power Bikes, but my recommendation of it is on the Amazon site as well. That one has MIPS. MIPS is it's like a helmet liner. It's like a little yellow helmet liner for some rotational things and stuff. The X-Needle doesn't use that. They just go with the 28 mile per hour rating system. And then I have one for the Outdoor Masters helmet as well, and that uses MIPS as well. But of the three, when people ask me what do you recommend, typically it's the X-Needle is what I recommend, because it is rated to a higher speed standard. All right, we're gonna cross here, but we gotta make sure that the left turners have finished crossing. I don't even know if that works. I don't hear a beep or anything out of that thing. So we gotta make sure we're all clear before we cross. All right, we're crossing here, and we got right turner guys that are gonna try to turn this way, but we'll be past it already. So I usually recommend the X-Needle, but I know not everyone can afford the X-Needle because it is, I think it's $150, and I think there's like a $15 discount. Get the discount code off of my description of the video. Stand up on this curb here. So it brings it to like $135, but I know not everyone wants to spend $135, so I have those other two helmets you can consider. The Burn costs more money than the Outdoor Masters, so if you're looking for a MIPS helmet, you know, then that's only rated to, I believe, like 15 miles an hour or something, which is what most helmets are rated to. I think the Outdoor Masters are in the $55, $60, $65 ranges, something like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of helmets out there on the market, really. I mean, all right, this guy is letting me through. I'm gonna come through this way. All right. You gotta move when you move. So yeah, check the different helmets out. Definitely get a helmet. Whichever one you get is better than no helmet, okay? Get a helmet, wear that. I wear these riding gloves. You know, it's padded here, but I don't wear it for the padding. I wear it so that in case I fall, I don't skin the palms of my hand. The padding helps, I guess, in that sense too, though. I don't want to skin the palms of my hand, because your tendency is to break your fall by putting your hands out. And I don't want to skin my palms of my hands if I fall. So that's why I wear it. And I'm getting that suntan thing going on, where The fingers are darker, but underneath it's lighter. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's been like that for the last couple years now. Yeah, I do go out quite a bit. I wouldn't say I'm out daily, but almost daily I'm out. Weekends, not so much. I don't ride on Sundays for sure, unless it's a nice day and there's nothing going on. Then I might go out on a Sunday. Saturdays, as you know, I'll ride around the streets because I don't like going on the bike paths because there's way too many people on the bike path on the weekends. All right, I'm heading back the same way I came in. This is the way to go. Avoid the major streets, even if that means having to take like a shopping center parking lot to cut through. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We're almost at the 15,000 mark. Maybe by the time you see this video, maybe we'll actually hit the 15,000 mark. I don't know. But I appreciate all you guys watching and hitting the like button and subscribe button all the time. You know, that like button actually helps a lot because it pushes the video to other people. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.